Shabbat Me neither. Ooh, not muted. Hello, Shabbat Shalom.
What about mine? Oh, yeah. That's great. Delightful.
This might be a reminder to not just me, to do whatever you do to your electronic devices to allow you to better enter Shabbat without them.
Oh, that's very loud. Dun, dun, dun. Seems like everyone's ready.
I think so. The people are on time.
Look at you all. Okay.
So patiently on time.
I mean, I think we'll just jump right into IFA. No need to do a opening again. Of course. Okay. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Sorry.
Prayer books. For myself. No. You get to keep your prayer books. It's okay. It's okay.
There's also probably one back there. That's okay.
Okay. Here we are.
We both, I think, really need Shabbat.
We do. Perhaps we're not alone in that.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, let's start with a little Mayafe Hayom on page 10. Mayafe Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Mayafe Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Good evening, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I am Rabbi Dusty. This is Rabbi Molly. You are at Temple B'nai Torah in Bellevue, Washington, in the United States of America, on North America, in this globe. Sometimes I find it useful to ground yourself in geographic space and time. And we get to enter again Shabbat. And you'd think that for two rabbis, Shabbat would come and we'd be so prepared way in advance, many days. In fact, we'd always be prepared. If it was Shabbat all the time, we'd be fine. Not so. As it turns out, everyone needs Shabbat, and sometimes we run smack dab into it. And today is one of those days where we're all going to just dive perhaps into Shabbat, where we need it more than ever. If you are new to this space and you haven't yet gotten a chance to be welcomed or to welcome or to meet people or say hello or introduce yourself, there will be time for that after services. There may be time in the midst of services, who knows? And for now, we're going to have at least one official welcome from Elliot, I believe, who is representing the board of directors tonight. So I'll invite him up to say hello.
Shabbat Shalom, I'm Elliot Paul, I'm on the board of directors.
Shabbat Shalom, Elliot.
It's a long million. Okay, services tomorrow and next week. And next weekend, we've got a special guest, Rabbi, how does it pronounce the first name?
Anson Leitner.
Anson.
Rabbi Leitner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. During the Davening stuff, and then Saturday afternoon, there's a lunch and learn, and Sunday, there's a beach cleanup, and then our big summer event, which is Get More Shabbat, is on the 23rd. Welcome. I want to tell a quick joke.
Oh, okay, please.
I was going to wait and tell Nikki this later, but I think everybody would appreciate it. Saul is a lawyer, and Don's a doctor. They come to services every Friday night. And Saul, the lawyer, gets approached by Don, the doctor, and say, at Oneg, I always get asked questions about medical stuff. And I just don't have opportunity to enjoy the Oneg with everybody else. Saul said, oh, I solved that problem years ago. When people started asking me legal advice, on Monday morning, I would send them a bill. And guess what? They stopped doing it. And Don said, that's great, I'll do the same thing. Monday morning, the medical assistant knocks on Dr. Don's door. You just got a bill from Saul. Oh, one more thing. Yesterday was the deadline to get the early discount if you have kids register for religious school. If you're here tonight or online, I'm going to let you extend it until Tuesday because I'm the treasurer and I can do those things.
When you get to checkout, put Elliot Paul in the discount code line. Yeah. Tell him he sent you. Wow. Thanks, Elliot. Wise words. Nikki, you can start charging people for asking medical advice or legal.
Whichever advice you happen to be giving that night. Shall we light some candles?
Please.
Get this party going? All right. I'm going to do it. I'll light some candles. If I light these directly, will something terrible happen, or do I light this candle to light these candles?
No.
We're okay? All right, I'm going to do it.
Okay, yeah.
Get straight in there. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. And in advance of Kiddush, am I right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Kiddush is this moment of sanctification. It's when we fully step into Shabbat. And in advance of offering the words of Kiddush, we would love for you to share any simchas, any happy moments of any kind that you've experienced in the last week. If you're online, please tell us in the chat. If you're here, raise your hand, let us know so that we can all celebrate with you. Yes, Nikki. Wow. Hey. Wonderful. Happy birthday to both of you. My goodness.
Well, I get to meet you for the first time, Rabbi.
Yes. I've been called all sorts of things. Hi, Adrian.
Playing cookie all summer, sorry.
And now you're here.
I just asked out one of my top tier best friends for the last 10 years on Wednesday.
Top tier.
Longest term best friend I made in adulthood besides my childhood friends. And he said yes.
Yes. Success. Mazel tov. Others, yes. Oh, an actual letter on paper or one of the ones that came in the email?
Wow.
Yes.
That's
Amazing.
basically nice. Robin Plotnick had a birthday yesterday. My mom.
Mazel
Happy
tov.
birthday, Robin.
Mom. Any other simchas to celebrate? All right. My daughter had her first swim lesson yesterday. She is 7 months old. So she survived the swim lesson, and so did I. And those are 2 simchas in one. And so we will offer Kiddush together. Page 5, if you're following along. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu Zikaron le'maaseh v'bereshit ki hu yom techila le'mikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'chata ve'otanu kidashta mikol habim V'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
We continue on page 20 with the words of L'chadodi welcoming in the Sabbath bride.
All right, we're going to join together in verses 1 to 5 and 9. It's like a little, best of survey. And when we get to the
Top tier.
9th verse, those are top tier verses. When we get to the 9th verse, we are going to rise if you're able. And our tradition, our custom is to face the entrance of our sanctuary to welcome in that Shabbat spirit. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmiyanu el hamilchad. Adonai echad, v'shmo echad, l'shem tiferet v'lichila. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Nikra Shabbat l'chuven elcha, ki mekor ha'bracha, mirosh mikerem netzucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshavat techila. Lecha dodi likra kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Shabbat nekavela. Hitoreri, ki ha'orek umi ori, uri, shir daberi, k'yod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi ושלום עטרת בעולם, גם בשמחה ובשורת עולם, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי קלה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Continue on page 28 with Baruch Hu.
Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai. Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
You may be seated. We continue on page 30.
Keep up there.
With a prayer that welcomes in the evening, which we are moving to still slowly. My sister was over last night and she looked outside as she was leaving and she said, "Oh, it's dark out. I can go home and go to sleep." And it was 9, so it was still relatively late, but it is starting to get dark a little bit earlier. This is kind of the sweet spot before it turns into 4 p.m. and we don't know where the day went.
I hope the sweet spot lasts a little bit longer.
It will. It will continue. I have it on good authority. We have months.
All right, page 30, Mari Varvim. Yala, 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 yala. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bivaro mariv haravim bechokma poteach sharim, uvishanei yitim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem b'arkiot kitzono. Borei yom v'layla, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom u'mevi layla, umavdil ben yom u'vein layla, Adonai tzod shemo. Yala, 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 El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Imoch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Hamariv Haravi. Amen.
Page 33, in the middle of the page. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto, Leolam, Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech u'shochbecha uvkumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha le'an tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kadoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet. Celebrate our ongoing and onward toward freedom on page 40 with the words of Micha Mocha. Anything you want to say about Micha Mocha?
Always.
We are going to sing the words of Micha Mocha, but before we do that, we're going to sing some words from a different song. Hannah Fuller still talks about how she loves when I did this a while ago, so I just feel obligated. So if you don't like this version, you can complain to Hannah. So if you know, sing along. Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. How's your whistling?
I can do it. I think I got it.
That's impressive. I don't know if you can hear. I can hear. Sounds great. I cannot whistle like that. There we go. We'll sing Micha Mocha. Micha Mocha, Ba'elim Adonai. don't worry. Be happy. Nora, Nora, tehilot. Oh, say, Father, don't worry. Be happy. Nora, tehilot. Oh, say, Father, don't worry. Be happy.
Didn't know I got to whistle tonight.
I know.
Very exciting. Page 42, a prayer for protection as we enter nighttime and darkness. Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. We're going to be down near the end of the prayer where the little indent is. Ushma zetenu, uvoenu, lechayim u'shalom, me'ata v'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. We're going to continue now with the Amidah, which begins on page 46, and I talk all the time about the Talmud class that we have going on for almost 4 years strong, and we have just finished a giant section where they spend a lot of time talking about the Amidah. And one of the things that they often debate about is there's a lot of words in here, and what happens if you mess up, or what happens if your mind wanders, or what happens if you get bit on the ankle by a snake, or the king walks in. You know, like, you got to be prepared
Normal
for
stuff.
this. Normal stuff, yes. And one of the things that they keep coming back to is that what is truly the most important is having the right kavanah, the right intentions. And yes, they want you to get some of the words right, as many as you can. But really, it's about being focused properly. And so as we move through the Amidah, which begins on page 46 and continues on, we would love for you to pray along with us. And also, don't get so caught up in the words and worrying about getting them right, and just be able to allow yourself to be with yourself wherever you are, and just maybe follow your heart and see where that leads you tonight. So if you're able, please rise. We'll join together, page 46. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei hakol, v'zocher hasdei avot v'imahot, u'mevi geula livnei v'neihem, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומשיח ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות ומיתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה, ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. We're going to continue quietly and on your own through page 62. Whenever you're ready, you may be seated. I'm going to share a text that comes from the Psalms, Psalm 122, and I think many people are familiar with at least the beginning of Psalm 121 because that often comes up in our liturgy. I lift my eyes to the mountains. Where do I find God? Where do I find help? My help comes from God. This one of the psalms and songs of ascent, and the psalm right after that, Psalm 122, is also a psalm of ascent, of ascending, about ascending Jerusalem and looking out and wanting peace for everybody who's in that space. And in the text, it's not specifying who those people are, but it's in terms of what tribe they are from, but it specifies that all the people who want well for the world and for each other and for Jerusalem, that those are the people that we're wishing peace upon. And when I was in Israel a few months ago, we had the tremendous opportunity to learn with and from a musician there, Esther Rada, who is an Ethiopian Jew born in Israel, but her parents immigrated from Ethiopia, and she's a musician in Israel. And she shared that she was asked by, I don't know, the Ministry of Israel. She was asked to pick a song after October 7th that sort of represented how she was feeling. And this is the psalm that she chose, this melody, and talked a lot with us about what it was like, her experience growing up as someone who is a person of color and doesn't present as what you would stereotypically think of as an Israeli, and her experience in the world at large, and how the October 7th and on has sort of changed how she views herself and how people view her, and like her role in the world. And of this psalm, when she introduced it, she said, I wish, I wrote down what she said, so I couldn't remember. I wish that we would act out of love and not out of fear. And that was sort of what drove her to choose this psalm. So it was new to me, so perhaps it is new to some of you. And I found it very stirring, so. L'man achai v'rehai, l'man achai v'rehai, adabrana, shalom ba. To all of my brothers and friends, to all of my sisters and friends, please let me speak, please let me sing peace to you. L'man beit Adonai Eloheinu avaksha tov lach. L'man beit Adonai Eloheinu avaksha tov lach. This is the house of the Lord. I wish the best for you. This is the house of the Lord. I wish the best for you. To all of my brothers and friends, to all of my sisters and friends, please let me speak, please let me sing peace to you. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Oh, yeah, say shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam.
Take a moment in every service to offer a prayer for healing. So I invite you to take a moment and think of the people in your own lives who are in need of healing. I will offer the names of those in our community who we are thinking of and praying on behalf of this evening, and then give you an opportunity if you'd like to share any additional names. We are thinking of Amy Thornton, Stacy Hetzel, Jacqueline Tara Smith, Deborah Rose, Eileen Kreisman, Ronnie Haber, Ellen Gottlieb, Vanessa Bianco, Paul McCready, Glenn Letts, Carl Wilhite, Jeannie Gaston, Cindy Balin, Patty Newby, Michelle Arrigo, Joni Michaels, Joe Giordano, Brian Ward, Joshua Kornblue, Joe Dover, Christina Marie Lindsay, Janine Morris, Margaret Nichols, Ron Louie, Barb Carmichael, Nina Winokur, Richard Apple, Jason Apple, Sally Wildison, Marnie Good, Arlene Schuster, Sylvia Angel, Marion Laird, Wilma Weinstein Lomax, and Terrence Wood. Any additional names you'd like to mention tonight? For all those names and all those we are keeping in our hearts, we'll offer a prayer of healing in the middle of page 253.
Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Elliot started with a joke.
Are you?
I'll continue with a joke. It's kind of a joke. I don't know. You'll tell me if it's funny or not. Devorah wakes up late for a new job interview. She quickly takes a shower, eats breakfast, gets into her car. When she finally gets to the building, she can't find any parking. She looks and she looks, but she just can't find anything. Come on, she says, and realizes she's praying. God, if you find me a parking spot, I'll go to synagogue every Saturday morning, and I'll never tell a lie ever again. 2 minutes later, someone leaves a parking spot right in front of her, and she breathes a sigh of relief. Never mind, God. I found one. In the beginning of this week's Torah portion, Moses relays commandments to the Israelites around nedarim, or vows, the same word that we get nidre, kol nidre from. The message in the Torah portion is very clear. Once you've made a vow out loud, you're bound to that vow. About 25 chapters later, 30 chapters later, in Deuteronomy, we have an additional addendum. Once you've made a vow, you should not put off its fulfillment, and says, don't worry, you incur no guilt if you refrain from vowing. So already within just a book of the Torah, we've got, once you've made a vow, you're stuck with that vow, and you already have this and if you don't make one, you won't have to commit to it. Further on in the Tanakh, in the Bible, we learn in Ecclesiastes, and now I'm quoting, God has no pleasure in fools. What you vow, fulfill. It is better not to vow at all than to vow and not fulfill. Don't let your mouth bring you into disfavor. And don't plead before the messenger that it was an error. So, one of the key messages here, of course, is that words matter. If you say you're going to do something and don't do it, You cannot be relied on. You cannot be trusted to follow through. And you clearly don't have proper honor and respect for God. Better to quit while you're ahead and avoid making any commitments ever. Right? I've got one head nod. Wrong. Because if we all decided that making a promise or commitment was more dangerous than the risk of failing to make good on that promise, we would make no commitments and promises. And that would bring society to a standstill. The commitments and promises we make are the building blocks of community and civic society. When we obtain a driver's license, we promise to adhere to the rules of the road. And in return, we are promised the relative safety we get when other drivers who have made the same promises also follow the rules of the road. When we begin a job, we promise to do that job. In return, we are promised financial and sometimes other benefits. When people commit to a lifetime partnership, they often promise to care for each other in both the best and worst of times. In return, they are promised that same care. Now, of course, none of these are vows in the biblical sense. A neder involves a promise to give something to God or a promise to refrain from doing something as a show of your dedication to God. But the tension is still the same. To make a vow is to invite accountability. That accountability might be uncomfortable, but it also makes it more likely that you will actually make good on your promise. Making that vow also ties us to each other and to something greater than our own individual self. When we avoid making vows entirely, we release ourselves from commitment. That might feel like the safer option, but it also closes us off from each other and leaves us in indecision, limbo, analysis paralysis, if you will. So what do? We try to avoid making vows willy-nilly. We don't bargain with God over parking spaces, and we don't, as the childhood imperative teaches, make promises we cannot keep. Instead, we work to make intentional choices and then stand by them. We seek to respond as often as possible with words that we find in this prayer book on page 87 in one of our readings, with the no that is really no and the yes that is really yes. And when our yeses are really yeses and our no's are really no's, those vows will be achievable. And in their fulfillment, we get to strengthen our relationship with God, with each other, and with ourselves. Shabbat Shalom. We continue on page 283 with the words of Aleinu, and we rise. And because I always forget, did you do the words that I always do?
I don't know.
Hang on, let's go there. Let me see. No, okay, so for anybody who's like me and defaults to the right side of the page, top left of the page, you all know this already, I'm saying it out loud for me and thus anyone else who's new.
Yeah.
283.
283. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit gdula liotzer bereshit, shehu sam chelkeinu liachad et shemo, v'gor aleinu lehamlich malchuto, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Benemar, V'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, Ushemo, echad.
You may be seated. We always take a moment in every service to honor and say aloud the names of those who have died at this time and in years past. And when we do that, we take those names and the people who are attached to them, most importantly, and we bring them into our present. And that is how we build legacies, and that is how we all live on in each other. Our yard site list this week has some additional names. We're working through some administrative learnings. And so we may have some of next week's names this week. We may have some of last week's names this week. So we're going to offer all of those names, and we will do the same next week as well. And in that way, hopefully, we will actually make sure that we have included all the names that should be included.
Yeah. Better to do it twice.
And if I've still missed a name, you'll tell me. Yeah? Okay. We are honoring in their recent passing, we are remembering Helen Weaver, sister of Susan Goldstein, Barbara Laird, friend of Glenn Letts, Alan Kendall, husband of Susan Kendall, Faye Stansel, aunt of Liz Cardy, and Stuart Rosen, beloved congregant. We remember on their yard site Benjamin Portman, Isidore Stusser, Judith Cantor, Jordan Beck, Sidney Kornblue, Evelyn G. Bass, Jean Ray Hurwitz, Joseph Patrick, Michael Sproul, Jack Dominitz, Lillian Gerstmann, Norma Neiman, Catherine Holly Anderson, Stuart Dugason, Yitzhak Dishon, Donald Arthur Friedman, Ernest Goldstein, Elise Potoshnik, Marion Prasso, Rose Niemans, Morris Baskin, Meyer Roderick, Esther Sirkin Cohen, and Elaine Gelbart. There are additional names, like mentioned. Karen Katz, Henry Kruger and Emil Schwartzman, Frida Mandelsky. For all those names and those left unmentioned, we rise as a congregation and community from Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon u'yomechon u'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'yisman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudusha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Da'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'yimru amen. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for a blessing. We conclude with a song. We sure do. It seems we're deciding what our little notes sheet says closing song question mark. We surely want to close in song. We haven't decided which song we want to close with.
We'll do Ojivo. Yeah. We'll do 353.
Ojivo, 353.
Well, I left it. I was leaving it open in case there was, thematically a song connected to your drosh. And I don't know, what song would be good for vows?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I know.
I got nothing.
See? Neither do I. Great. Okay. So here we are, praying for peace. All right. We're going to end with Ojiva Shalom on page 353. Another prayer for peace. Let's sing together. Ojiva Shalom Aleinu. Ojiva Shalom Aleinu. Ojiva Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Ojiva Shalom Aleinu. Ojiva Shalom Aleinu. Ojiva Olivo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kolam. Salam, shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kolam. Salam, salam. Olivo Shalom Aleinu. Olivo Shalom Aleinu. Olivo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Olivo Shalom Aleinu. Olivo Shalom Aleinu. Olivo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam.
Hamotzi.
Let's see.
I was about to say Shabbat Shalom, but wait, there's more.
Did you bring your own homemade challah?
I didn't, but I thought about it. I didn't know if I like to make challah. This is not mine. I mean, this is all of ours.
Wouldn't live up to your aunt's.
But next Friday, perhaps I will. And if you're here, you can have some.
Before you do that,
Yeah.
may I just really quickly? Okay, Elliot mentioned that in 2 Fridays from now, yes, Rabbi Leitner.
Yes.
Is that 2 Fridays from now? In 2 Fridays from now, Rabbi Ensign Leitner will be here. And it's not like your normal rabbi's going to get up and talk.
He's not your normal rabbi.
Rabbi Leitner wrote a book with Rabbi Dan Bridge many, many years ago, which is reimagining and translating and bringing back to life this ancient folktale that has a fascinating history in many different cultures, including in early Jewish culture. And we are going to do a live reading of part of the drama of the story. It's called The Animals' Lawsuit Against Humanity. And I need people to volunteer to be some of the animals. If you would like to be an animal in 2 weeks, please let me know. Looks like Molly does.
Do you get to pick your animal?
I got the pleasure of being
What were you?
part of the, I think I actually was the narrator. I think I was more narrator. Being part of this a few months ago when he debuted it, he tried it out with a group of rabbis. And now we get to share it here. And so it's a really cool story that is like very modern, yet written a very long time ago. So if you would like to a part in it, let me know. That is all.
All right, in your best animal impression, whichever animal you so choose, we will offer together Hamotzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Hamotzi lechem min haaretz Shabbat Shalom. B'teavon.
Shabbat Shalom.
You are free to move about the country and next door where there is an oneg.
You can move about the
Also,
country. Yes, or to the social
there's
hall.
challah.
And admire our puzzle, which is now complete. There will be a new one showing up soon, I'm sure. Shabbat Shalom.